I'm still shaking when I think about it. If your family ever laid hands on you for talking back after a death in the family, drop your state below. I need to know I'm not the only one who had to choose between blood and survival. I'm 27F, a freelance brand designer who'd been living in Lisbon for 3 years, couch surfing and hustling for clients while trying to launch my sustainable clothing line. My portfolio was finally getting traction, but I was one bad month from broke. Then the call came at 3 a.m. Portuguese time. Grandma was gone, peaceful, in her sleep at 86. I used every frequent flyer mile I had, threw 2 black dresses in a carry-on, and landed in Columbus, Ohio. 22 hours later, smelling like airplane coffee and grief. Mark my stepfather, since I was 9, was waiting at arrivals in his rusted Silverado. The second I threw my bag in the back, he started, "Your mother's destroyed, Eleanor. Least you could do is act like you give a damn for once." I hadn't lived in that house since the day I turned 17, and they told me, college or rent. Pick one. I picked college, community college, night classes, 3 jobs, and a 2003 Corolla with no heat. But sure, Mark, I'm the ungrateful one. We drove straight to Grandma's house on 6th Lane, the porch swing where she taught me to. Sketch dress patterns was sagging under the weight of Chloe's glittery Class of 2023 banner. Inside, the lemon-polished hand cinnamon smell I'd known my whole life was gone, replaced by sour wine and pepperoni grease. My Aunt Lisa was already half a box deep into Franzia, telling anyone who'd listen how Mark had carried the family. When Grandma got confused the last year, that was rich. Grandma had been sharp enough to hide $200 in the lining of my winter coat every Christmas. Sharp enough to Venmo me grocery money when Mom forgot I existed. Sharp enough to FaceTime me in Lisbon at 2 a.m. her time just to say, "Ellie, promise me you're chasing the dream and not just surviving." The funeral was a circus. Mom wore a black dress 2 sizes too, small and a fascinator like she was at the Kentucky Derby. Chloe, my 24-year-old stepsister, who still introduces herself as a former NFL cheerleader, she was on the practice squad for 4 months, wore white. Mark got up and cried about being the son she never had. I sat in the back pew clutching the lilies I'd ordered from a shop in Lisbon, because the local florist was booked solid code for Mom told them not to take my card. I kept my mouth shut. I just wanted to smell Grandma's perfume one last time and get on the next plane out. That night, the reception was at Grandma's house. Neighbors brought caffeine. My family brought drama. I was in the kitchen rinsing coffee cups when Mark cornered me, breath like a distillery. "You didn't even send flowers, did you?" he sneered. "The lilies on the altar. Card says, 'Love, your Ellie bug.'" He laughed so hard the buttons on his rental suit strained. "Yeah, well, tomorrow we'll see who she really loved. She changed everything. You know, said you abandoned her." I felt it like a slap, but I didn't react. I dried my hands on the dish towel with the embroidered chickens Grandma loved and walked away. The will reading was at 10 a.m. sharp in Grandma's dining room, the same table where she taught me to sew on her 1964 Singer. Mom had set out store-bought dishes like this was brunch and not the final carving up of the only person who ever chose me. Mr. Patel, the estate lawyer, was calm, kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. He opened the folder. "To my granddaughter, Eleanor Rose Carter, I bequeath my primary residence at 1427 Sycamore Lane. All furnishings and contents. The Fidelity investment account ending in 5,512 current balance, approximately $187,000. The 2018 Honda Civic titled in my name. And all personal jewelry with the exception of the pearl earrings left to my sister Marlene." You could have heard a pin drop on the Berber carpet, then Mark detonated. "This is elder abuse." She was on morphine. She didn't know what she was signing. Mr. Patel didn't flinch. "The will was executed 3 months ago. Witnessed by 2 nurses and a notary. Medical records confirm capacity. There is also a letter for Miss Carter." He slid the lavender envelope across the table. "Grandma's handwriting, spidery but unmistakable. My dearest Ellie bug. If they're screaming right now, let them scream. I paid a locksmith $1,200 the day. I went into the hospital to change every lock on this house. The new keys are under the ceramic frog by the back door. The spare set is taped inside the flower canister. Remember how you used to hide report cards there? The diamond ring in the music box on my dresser appraises at $26,000. Sell it. Seed money for that clothing line you keep whispering about when you think no one's listening. I've added a Ring camera last Christmas. It saves to the cloud, just in case. You were the only one who ever saw me, baby girl. Now I need you to see yourself. Be brave. Be rich. Be happy. And if any of them lay a hand on you, press charges. I already spoke to Officer Delgado. He's expecting your call. All my love forever. Grandmark ripped the letter from my hands before I finished. His face went purple. You conniving little bitch. His hand cracked across my cheek so hard my vision went white. I tasted copper. Someone, Chloe, I think, gasped like this was reality TV. I don't remember standing up. I just remember the cold calm that slid over me like armor. I walked out the front door, past the casserole brigade, past my mother's fake sob, and straight to the ceramic frog keys. I let myself in, locked the deadbolt, set the alarm Grandma apparently had installed, and called 911 from the landline that still had the same rotary dial tone from 1998. Police were there in 7 minutes. Mark was still pounding on the door, screaming about trespassing. The ring footage showed everything in 4K. The slap, him trying to kick the door in, Mom shrieking that I was always dramatic. Officer Delgado, exactly who Grandma said, took one look at my face, cuffed Mark, and read him his rights while the neighbors filmed on their phones. Mom tried the waterworks. Officer, she assaulted him first with her words. Delgado wasn't having it. Ma'am, I see a fresh handprint on your daughter's face and a 250-pound man trying to break into a house he no longer owns. Step back. They gave Mom and Chloe 10 minutes to pack what they could carry. I stood on the porch and watched them stuff designer purses and flat irons into hefty bags while Lisa wailed about family sticking together. I didn't cry. I felt hollow and free. Mark spent 2 nights in county lockup. The DA charged him with assault and attempted burglary. Mom's begging texts started immediately. Ellie, he's never been violent before. Please drop the charges. We have nowhere to go. Chloe's depressed without her ring light and ring camera. Your grandmother would want you to forgive. I blocked every number. Then I paid a forensic accountant friend from college $800 to pull the full picture, because Grandma's letter had one more line at the bottom. I had it read aloud. P.S. Check the safe behind the oil painting in the basement. Combination is your birthday. Behind the ugly oil painting of dogs playing poker was a fire safe. Inside, every birthday card they'd ever forgotten to give me, $9,400 in cash, rubber banded with notes in Grandma's handwriting for Ellie's textbooks 2016, for Ellie's laptop 2018, and a ledger. Page after page of transfers from Grandma's account to Mom and Mark, $4,200 here, $8,800 there, labeled home repairs or Chloe's car. Total, almost $120,000. Over 6 years, I took the ledger to Mr. Patel. He took it to the DA. Elder financial abuse charges got added to Mark's docket. I sold the ring for $26,400 after fees. Paid off the $11,000 left on Grandma's mortgage. Turned her sewing room into a studio with floor-to-ceiling windows and a cutting table made from the dining room table where they tried to take everything from me. Ellie Bug Studio launched on what would have been Grandma's 87th birthday. The origami crane collection, dresses with hidden pockets, jackets that fold into their own travel pouches, every tag embroidered with a tiny crane, sold out in 9 hours. Net profit first week, $84,000. I hired 2 seamstresses who'd been laid off when the local factory closed. We drink coffee out of Grandma's chicken mugs and laugh until we cry. Mark flips burgers at the truck stop now. Paper hat, name tag, the whole bit. Chloe's influencer manager gig fell apart when brands Googled her name and found the police report. Mom rents a 1-bedroom above a vape shop and still leaves voicemails about healing as a family. I changed my number. The house has a new security system, new paint the color of Lisbon sunsets, and a porch swing that doesn't squeak anymore. Some mornings I sit there with coffee and sketch while the neighborhood kids ride bikes past the Beware of Designer sign I hung as a joke. I still sleep in Grandma's room. Her lavender sachets are in every drawer. Sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. and swear I smell cinnamon rolls baking. I will never speak to any of them again. The locks stay changed. The house is mine. The money is mine. The future is mine. What would you have done the second his hand hit your face in a room full of people who pretended not to see? Thank you for listening. I'm finally, truly home.